G'day, citizens. Welcome to Inforunners. I'm joined today by Old Man Hurst himself, Algrid, and the Astrobub. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Good.
Algrid looks really relaxed. Who have you been hanging out with, Algrid? You're on holiday.
No, I was working.
It's the traditional Hurston holiday
Right.
of
Day.
the workers have to work. It's the workers have to work, and Hurston Dynamics is of third quarter earnings have come in, so they're making they take a day off. All the Hurston families take a day off, and they go have a nice barbecue.
Now, Paulie, you're forgetting marketing, and IIE is a great time for Hurston Dynamics to sell our weapons for our ship weapons, and we go to IIE and we.
I would like to remind
our weapons.
I would like to remind everyone that the beam cannon on the Idris P is in fact a Hurston Dynamics weapon. So every IAE Hurston is sitting there like just that gif with the money like yes.
What's the hold up with the year of beams there then, Old Man Hurston? Where's all our beams?
We can only supply what the military's intending to use.
But what I'm hearing is Junku is the holdup. He's holding out.
If ship manufacturers are not willing to buy it, not willing to put our weapons as key components on their ships, you can come to Hurston Dynamics and you can go through our showroom and buy as many of our weapons as you like.
I can tell you exactly what's going on. It's the same thing that's happening to RAM prices in the real world right now. There's just too much demand for the beams, so the prices are going way up. God, it's awful.
This is a kind of relatively new CCU. It does actually dovetail with the Raelian as well. So unfortunately, I brought a whole point once from the Terrapin to the Raelian, but they actually work for me because I got older ones. But if you are getting new ones, this would have been a really good one to grab with a $5 CCU after the medical Terrapin to the Raelian. So if you bought them for credit, you can just melt them back and rebuy them, and you could buy these with cash. So that'll just give you another further discount because they literally dovetail, and they're the perfect CCU when they do that. And again, the only new ship that is the Marky Mark. So unfortunately, you have to spend $5 more to get an alternative. And I don't really like any of those alternatives. I'm going to be honest with you. Either. Yeah, they're all pretty bad. The safe bet's the Mark 1 Super Hornet, but yeah, I'd probably just go with the Marky Mark, but again, that's going to go up in price when it comes out. So yeah. Yeah, there's no good one there other than so you got to go quite far to get a decent one. So if you're going to use it recently or soon, then it'll be fine. Well, if you're going to use it this sale, is probably what I'd do with it. Yeah. Lemming, are you there at all by any chance? He's in the channel, but he's not talking. All right, there he is.
Yeah.
Lemming, what ship would you recommend for that one? Just quickly, because there's not a lot of good choices there, my friend.
You have to do the MR and then just secure the MR from whatever 175 that you want.
Yeah, so get one below that for credit is what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's a good call. I like that one. Right. Let's go back to this, and first come off the rank is the Arrow. Who wants this one? I know who wants the carrot. That's really obvious. He brought a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll start with the Arrow. It is it's a solid pick. It's one of the better intro level fighters you can get. Like there's nothing you can go wrong with it. It's not the best light fighter, but it is a versatile light fighter, and its speed and maneuverability are pretty good. I'm no expert on this one, but I've seen enough of them being used that they fall in and out of the meta frequently. Like they'll come in and they'll come out, they'll come in and come out. Like every time CIG does an adjustment, the Arrow seems to be the one that falls into the meta slot. But just in general, if you're not doing meta chasing, it is solid for what it does, which is it's a light fighter that you could put a lot of pain in, and it's fast and it's maneuverable. It's just not very long range.
Yeah, I think you'd agree, Agrid. It was in the meta for a very long time, though, wasn't it?
It was, and if you got a Perseus, if you bought one of the original Perseus packs, there was an offer of 2 arrows and the Perseus, which gave you an idea of its role of being, I think, a support fighter. you can put 3 of them nice and snugly into an 890 jump, 2 at the back and 1 at the front, so they can fly off without doing weird angly maneuvers. And I do not know how many would be able to fit into a Idris or.
I haven't tried this out, but it makes me wonder if we could fit 2 in the Perseus where the Ursa goes. Curious now. I have to figure that one out. But yeah, no, really good fighter for the money, to be honest. But again, don't buy fighters; they're not worth it. Right, the Asgard. Best in show skin for this one as well. $350. I think it clearly came in as one of the better ships of this year. Really surprised a lot of people. I think the end of the year has shown that heaps better ships came again. This
is the Cutlass XL. Like this is the ship that when everyone says like, oh well, I love the Clipper. It's like, then the Asgard is your upgraded Clipper. It does everything the Clipper does, except for like, because you can even put a freaking Nursa on board, and you can probably buy the 16 SCU crafting station that they're going to have, and you'll still have plenty of cargo space left over to do whatever you want. Because what is cargo? It's like 190 or something like that. It's a huge amount of cargo.
But you essentially rotate things in and out to essentially accommodate it, rather than always have it there like the Clipper does. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But at
small.
But it is $350, so it's like more than double the price, and then add $50. So it's a bit of a steep. Anvil ships, once because they're all military bases, they all seem to have a premium price because of that military tag. Yeah.
But I mean, damn, is it good in game? Like, that's the thing. It's really good in game. It is fantastic because almost all the guns are controlled by the pilot. So the pilot has an insane amount of firepower. The only turret is the bottom turret, which is used by somebody else. And it's like, not like it's nice to have, but like when most of your firepower is locked up in the pilot, there's a reason why this is used all the time.
Yep.
It's a ship that because of that, I don't really like. I actually prefer my multi-crew ships to actually have the bulk of the firepower controlled by the turrets of the other players, and leave the pilot to fly. But for a ship that you're going to fly mostly solo, and if you put a small manufacturing vehicle on there when they come out, you've got your upgraded Clipper.
Packs a punch too in the guns department too for its size. It's kind of surprising. I'd love to roll these 3 together, so we'll talk about all 3 of them here, and then we'll kind of just mention the prices as we go through. This is the most expensive. Correct me if I'm wrong. The most expensive ground vehicle in the game at $140.
Can I get out of the way of a price?
No, you're fine.
You can't get out of the way of a price.
There you go. I can just do that. $140. But yeah, it's a very tough pill to swallow, the ballista. I think most of what you're paying for is the missiles. I feel that's what you're paying for is those expensive missiles that it comes with. But I don't know. $140 is not cheap when you can think about you can get a starter for $45. It's almost $95 more than that.
Yep. And it's a vehicle.
The Centurion. I do not remember the price of that off the top of my head, but that's essentially this, but with quad cannons instead of missiles. And then you've got the Spartan, which is essentially a troop transport of a heavy weapon.
They're all on here, by the way. So we can go to.
I can scroll, but then I've got to come all the way back and see. There's Centurion, 110. I just thought I wanted them all together so I could knock them out.
I know, because CIG's. We were talking about this before the recording, but like, what is this? What is this layout, CIG? Come on.
Yeah. And the Spartan's $80. That's probably one of the most expensive LTI tokens we ever got at the time. So yeah, and that's just I think it holds. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like 4 or 6 troops that are all in heavy armor. 8 in heavy armor. Yeah. So that's literally a heavy armor troop transporter.
And it is the only ship where the troop transports were at that time were able to wear their heavy armor, as opposed to say the Ursa, where you'd just be able to wear a suit. And a time will come when if you're wearing heavy armor, you wouldn't be able to kind of fit the number of people in the Ursa.
I'm going to say something that's going to make Old Man Al mad and probably execute mad, but the worst value in dropship is still better than the ballista, or still better than the Spartan.
I'd agree with that.
The steel you can hold like 28 in heavy armor, and you still have the ability to fly around and put a lot more more damage.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah,
it's the cost in game.
The Steel did come out significantly later than the Spartan as well. So
it's the cost in game. Vehicles just don't. Vehicles just do not go up anywhere near what the ships come near to. So again, if it's sell your fighters, it's 100% sell your vehicles. Get them in game, and it is available in the get in game. So you'd be kind of silly to buy it, in my personal opinion. C8R Pisces medical variant, really good for dovetails with a Carrack. It was the big runner for bunker missions for a long time. I think that's easily been replaced by the Clipper now. I'm gonna be honest. But again, I look at this ship and I look at the Clipper, and I'm kind of like, I can't justify the Clipper's price, but maybe something in fabrication I can't see.
Yeah, pretty much.
$65 by the way.
It's fine. I think if the one thing this could be good for is if you were a starter pilot and you're like, I really want to get into the medical profession down the line, and you want to upgrade to something, upgrade to the Clipper. You go or to the Clipper to the
Pisces.
To the Pisces R, because that way you can go from like a regular Pisces if you just pledge for a Pisces, or even a cutter, and that'll get that's like $5-10 to upgrade to that to a C8R.
It's actually 20. That's the crazy thing.
20?
So this is 45, the C8, and that's the C8X, the Expedition one, and because you can't actually buy the C8. I don't believe it, very rarely it comes up, and that's like I believe $40. The C8X is 45. Which makes it the same price as the Aurora. But it's actually a good ship at that. Does 4 SC of cargo, carries 3 people. So it's more of a people move than anything else, but that's what you're giving up. But yeah, I think as a starter ship, the Pisces is actually really good. It's just not as good as, say, the Cutter, because it's got the dedicated price. Yeah, and it's got you're essentially giving up the ability to carry 2 people on the Pisces, and you get the bed for yourself. So it's like, do I want to do some little bit of things with friends?
More than that, it's also got one of the best gun racks in the game, because you can hold pretty much like 2 or 3 weapons, including heavy weapons, under the gun rack. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, like, if you wanted to be in the starter medical transporter kind of job, then it's a $20 upgrade from a Cutter to a C8R. So it's like,
yeah, I think you both agree that both variants of this are really dovetailed to be the shuttle for the Carrack. That's what this ship is, right?
That's what it was built for, literally. So
and there's the Carrack as well, so we can add that into the discussion as well if you would like to.
Yeah, the C8R is, I think, really just adding the medical. Just let me finish. Stop doing your hand movement.
No, we're going, look, he's got a shirt on that's got Carracks on it. That's what we're doing. He ruined the bit.
Too bad. But the C8R is, while it's a great ship and it does fit into Carrack, it's really superfluous to the Carrack's needs, because the Carrack's actually got them at bay anyway. So
yeah, but if you're going for a medical problem that the Carrack can't get to, it can kind of stabilize the person and bring them back to the Carrack. Like, I've always seen those versions of the Pisces as just an extension of what the Carrack already does. Quite honestly, but
yeah, and that's one thing to look at. One thing to add, since we're now on the Carrack, lovely ship, awesome ship, is that the new salvage ship, the Salvation, does fit into the Carrack landing bay snugly. It fits just like a Pisces would. So that option also gives you the ability to go out, salvage material, which will then furnish your fabricator and re-equip your drones with stuff, so you can actually maintain repairs and do stuff. So that's another option to expand the Carrack's life. So,
while this is a supposition, we also know that with the Clippers addition of its fab inside of its game, we're almost certainly going to see the Carrack's maintenance room. It has been
updated. It actually has.
It doesn't actually have a fab in it.
It's got a thing that you can tell it's been touched and worked on. It's got a new thing there, and it's definitely gonna have a fabricator, or at least some kind of. It's smaller than the flipper. The flipper. Oh, that's gonna stick. Right, the Clipper. It's smaller than the Clippers, though.
Yeah, but I mean, that means that you can, if for long-term expeditions, if you're doing long-range exploration, you want to be out in the black for long distance for whatever reason. Getting a salvation means you can then literally repair on the fly, because you can just go salvage whatever you need to and continue on.
Yeah.
So
I've
And
always
your repair drones will do stuff and all the rest of it.
yeah. So it does have drones as well on the Carrack as well, obviously. But I've always seen it as this is like an upgraded 600i that's like kind of loses the luxury thing. So it's going to like more professional exploration than luxury exploration. It does come with a rover and a Pisces for that price,
Indeed.
and I believe you get a G12 in one of the variants of the 600. So you can kind of deduct
you get a G12 in the Explorer version.
Yeah, so you can kind of deduct the probably the Pisces from the price, but not the rover. But it kind of would be cool eventually to see this like Anvil have their own rover. I would have kind of liked to have seen some kind of military exploration rover from them that replaces the SR. You know, they're probably never going to do that, but it would have been nice to have. It's also got the modules along the bottom, 3 modules along the bottom. They kind of open at the moment to do cargo, but they're going to do other things. And much like what I was saying about how the Pisces kind of extend, I assume those modules will extend what the ship does. So a medical module, an exploration module with the cartography room, and probably the repair module. If you think about Star Trek, and it was like you know when they do the humanitarian missions, I kind of see that's what this ship would do as a part of its exploration, you know. So it's healing people and stuff like that, repairing people and getting them back on their feet. But they also need to do that for themselves as well because they're out on their own. And then also that what they're actually there to do is the cartography and the exploration. So yeah, that's what I think the modules will do. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I put it off to you guys, and please put your 2 cents in.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right on that one. Like, I don't know how to add.
It's the closest, like, even though I often think of the Idris as being the Enterprise, this is effectively Star Citizen's Enterprise. It's the Deep Space Explorer. It's, you know, it's got the Carrack, it's got the Pisces. Probably the biggest downplay, or the biggest thing that people complain about this is the turrets. There's no pilot-controlled guns. There's only the 2 turrets, or the 3 turrets. It feels lightly armored, but it's a ship that's really, I think, meant to flee from combat, not stay and go toe-to-toe, because it's an explorer. It's a survey ship, not a military frontline fighter.
Paul will be the first to tell you, Algrid has a website, or Old Man Hurston has a website, and do not apply to be a red shirt. That's what, yeah, it's going to end bad. Right.
I've actually had people tell me they want to be red shirts. I don't get it.
Some people just, what do you call it? Masochists. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Crucible, $350. I know, I'll let Algrid take this one because I know he'll do a good job.
This is the other ship which we get our name for. We have a Cult of the Endeavour and Cult of the Crucible. Take your pick of which, or a Church of Crucible. Take your pick which way you name them. This is probably the most valuable shipping game. If you have large ships, you probably should have a Crucible. It is a ship that can literally fit a Hornet fully enclosed in that cab. It is a ship that was originally designed to repair our capital ships. It has drones. It has
I'm gonna put on your Demtail voice, Agrid. It has drones. It has extra cargo. It's got arms. You need a Demtail. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
But wait, there's more. It even has steak knives. You know, it is a really great ship in terms of a concept. It is going to grow. We know it's going to grow simply because the Hornets grew and it needs to be able to enclose them. I don't think it hasn't been built, so it needs to put the components in. They've grown. So it will grow. What the new concept will look like, if it's that, or whether it goes more along Liberator lines in terms of form and look, don't know. But the Crucible is the go-to repair ship in the game.
I think you'd agree, Paul, based on generally when we get a form of rework or kind of a ship, they don't really downgrade them. They tend to upgrade them because it creates legal issues for refunds and stuff like that. So I think I kind of agree with everything Agrid said. You know, how big do you reckon that's going to get?
Oh, I mean, there's we talked about this before, but there are in my mind there are 3 eras of Star Citizen: pre-metrics, post-metrics, and post 1.0, and post 1.0 planned. So, like from 2012 to like 2016, we have pre-metrics. From 2016 to about 2023, we've got post metrics, and then from 2023 to today, all the ships from the last 2-3 years have been all built in the mind of like we have an idea of what 1.0 is going to look like, so we need to start building ships for 1.0, and this is a pre-metric ship, just like the Endeavor, and because it's a pre-metric ship, when it gets worked on, which is likely this coming year, because this is the year that they seem to be pointing towards rearm, refuel, repair. Like that seems to be the big push, because that was the whole
repair is just a version of base building. It just starts at a later point and continues to the end. If
same with salvage. We've been talking about
salvage.
The
reverse.
Is a reverse.
Yeah. So essentially, salvage is damage, repair is repair, and base building is start at the beginning and repair the whole thing from 0 to full. It's essentially what all three of them are.
In simple terms, yeah. And the other thing that is really important about this, and why we sell it so much, is it's still the $350 price tag there. It's the original price tag.
Yep.
Yes, it's the original concept price tag. It hasn't gone up.
That's an Asgard. That's an Asgard, and more than likely, I don't know what it's listed at right now. Agrid, is it actually listed as a capital, or is it still a large? Do you remember?
It's a large. It's a large.
Going to go through that. I think it's still.
Yeah, my hope is it actually does become the capital, kind of a bit like what happened with, like, the Reclaimer was listed as a capital, so they made it a capital. I think this should be a capital, personally. It kind of repairs all of them, and if it is going to grow,
small capital.
Yeah, kind of like a Polaris level size. And my hope, like, if I was to actually be the one to work on this, right, and this, so take this all with a grain of salt, the Freelancer almost fits in the Scarab, almost, right? I would make it so that you could put a Freelancer, so make it a medium pad, essentially, not a small pad. And I would
size 2 or 3?
Size 3. Size 3.
Yeah.
And I would essentially make that the size of the Scarab, and then basically it can put small, medium, and tiny onto it then because of that. And then basically it removes that, and the arms, as we've seen from the picture, Agrid will tell you, we've seen Retaliators and Connies and stuff where the Scarab's taken out, they can actually fit around and still work on those. And then it used to flip around and be able to use the arms on an Idris. So up to an Idris. So it literally can repair anything in the game. And that makes it really strong in my book. And it's got drones. Like, you never see them in the screenshots, but it literally is listed.
When we went through and did the deep dive on the Crucible, which is one of our older videos and probably does need another update at some point.
Yep.
We came across, that's a drone room.
It's even got a ramp. Like, how crazy is that? Like, they must have known all the way back then that we were getting ground vehicles. Because why is there a ramp in space?
And because the Scarab is detachable, you could drop it on the ground, and it's got batteries, so it could actually survive for a while and actually do repairs and other stuff, and actually work almost as a forward base.
You could almost do two at once.
Internal repairs,
couldn't you? You could do you could do a Hornet and then be repairing a bigger ship with the other arms at the same time. As long as you had the people, obviously, you'd need the people.
Yep. So, according to the Matrix of Lies, it looks like it has 2 size 4 repair arms and 4 size 2 repair arms. So. That's interesting.
What's the component size? What's the largest component on it?
They're all large.
Yeah, so it's not a capital then. Okay, it's just a large.
But it does have 4 large coolers, so that could end up becoming a capital cooler.
That is true.
So
that is true. Yep.
Okay. And 4 large fuel intakes. So
there's a lot of coolers.
It's kind of skirting fuel intakes, 2 large fuel tanks. But it's skirting that capital fixture at the moment, and I can't see it not growing to capital. Just
it becoming a repair corvette would make sense, because its design is the repair ship. It is supposed to be the repair all ship. So if because it's supposed to be able to transform and be able to repair larger ships. So if I also think that it's probably going to undergo a reconcept, because this was a very Anvil had an actual Anvil had an actual what is it called?
It is significantly smaller though. It really is.
Yes. But if you increased it to a size, to a size 3 pad, that would increase the length and the width. the second of all, they have to increase everything so they can fit NPCs can walk through the corridors. So they're going to use kits, whatever kits they have, to try to increase that. So no matter what, this ship is going to have to grow just because of the requirements for NPCs. And at that point, why not make it a bigger ship for more ships, and then be able? And at that time, you're like at least a Perseus, if not longer. So,
gonna be honest with you, I actually think this is going to come after the Liberator. I think if they work on the Liberator, it gives them a bit of kit stuff to work with, and then they reconcept this and come back. So I actually think this is a couple of, I think it's a couple of years away. I'll be honest with you.
I think it's still pre 1.0. I think it's a pre 1.0 ship.
No, I don't think it is, and I'll explain why. You've got the Vulcan, and you've got this. I actually think they'll make a whole new repair ship that's in between the Vulcan and this, and make this a capital. That's what I think. That's what I would do.
Not to mention, they're going to probably make a repair ship that is a starter ship. So like,
so they've got a whole pile of ships that are at the moment, like you said, Vulcan and Crucible.
I wouldn't call them a whole pile of shit, Argrid. That's pretty offensive.
But
you're bad. Execute. Jeez.
He's always bad. You should know that, Paul.
John's going to be John and Ben are going to be so offended when they see this.
They should start calling the silhouettes the pile of ship.
Yeah, the pile of ship.
A pile of ship. Yeah.
Yep. But when you've got the Crucible at one end and the Vulcan at the other, and that's it, there is a pile of room for the starter, the small, the large,
medium. Because this is going to be a large, no matter what it is. So.
Well, as you always used to say, the Vulcan is a medium ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a medium ship.
So we've got room for the the starter, the small.
That's what we should probably add in then,
pushing up the capital.
That kind of gives you the reference. See, like I think there is clearly room in between those two, and especially if the Crucible is going to grow, right? That's just me, because this thing is borderline a small, but it's like the Vulture. It's just over the line of medium, essentially. So,
it just hit me. It's a completely different thing. We'll talk about it on Aegis Day, but I do think that the Vulcan, if it's actually going to work on next year, will be the basis for the rework of the interior, or maybe even the entire rework of the Reclaimer. Because they're both the same brand, the civilian support logistical Aegis. They're the only ships in Aegis that are like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah,
you're right.
I could see that.
And the Vulcan being a repair and a Reclaimer being
salvage, reverse
salvage, opposites. Yeah.
And we put all the Hornets together, or did they split them up?
Yes.
Yep. Right. There is 4 of them. The hotter, new, sexier model with a price tag to match, basically. They all went up $50. So I still think they didn't put the Super Hornet here. It's a Super Hornet.
They did. We passed it. It was the very beginning. It was right after the first one.
Where?
Back. There.
Oh yeah, that one. That's the one I'd recommend. It's always been the best in my book.
It's the F8A or F7A. It's basically the F7A with 2-seater. It's in stats. So.
Channeling my inner bops here, but he would tell you that it crosses the line between a medium and heavy fighter. So kind of like where the Guardian's a heavy fighter that kind of pushes down into the medium, this would be the very next ship next to it being a medium pushing up into the heavy.
I actually was listening to Bots talk about the Hornet the other day, and his view is the F7A Mark I is a sexier and better version.
Oh, that's because it's got that skinny like so much. He paid like $1,000 for that.
He actually was arguing that it's more maneuverable. It's just he just thinks it's the better fighter out of the FA Mark II and the FA Mark I.
Okay.
So I just defer to Bops. Yep. He can either correct me if I'm wrong and misheard him, but that was my impression.
Yep.
Because I even asked him which one is the sexier and better model, and he said, the FA1.
All right. So
I will say this: the Mark II tracker, or the tracker in general, is the one to watch.
Yeah, bit of a sleeper.
Because we almost certainly scanning is coming into the game next year. It's one of those things that it has been my sort of I don't know the right term for it. The thing that keeps me up at night is that CIG is constantly talking about other game mechanics, and they almost never talk about publicly scanning. They talk about it in the monthly reports, but they never freaking talk about scanning. And it's like, I don't know. This makes me nervous because they don't talk about scanning, and we all know that scanning is so vital for basically everything after engineering. I know it probably needs engineering to work, but like now that engineering's coming in 4.5 and they still haven't talked anything about scanning, I'm like, what's going on? Because like this, the Rambler Scout, the Terrapin, all of their gameplay is wrapped up in the scanning.
Yeah.
And
I think in a squadron too, this will be the ship that kind of helps the other ships in a squadron too. I think if you're getting multiple Hornets, for example, you're going to need one of these to help the guide. Almost like the command and control. Like it's going to go. All right, they're over there, guys. Let's go get them.
It's an AWACS ship. It's a CNC ship, and we don't know exactly how it's going to work. There's lots of hopes it will work, how it will work in game, but I do think that this ship is one of those that is going to be a sleeper for those of you who already have a Hornet. Say you're a fighter pilot and you already have a Hornet, and you're like, well, I need to find something. I mean, maybe I'm not the best fighter pilot in the squadron or in my group, but if no one has a tracker, it's like, well, if you're a fighter pilot and you can get a tracker, then you get all the advantages of being a fighter pilot while also being able to be the logistic support for everybody else.
It takes a village, is what you're saying. It takes a village. Yeah. Agreed.
It adds to your squadron's capabilities. One of the things I could see with this though is a tracker would be an ideal version for a 2-seater.
Yes,
so that you could actually have your Rio actually take care of the tracking and other stuff, especially when you're in a dogfighty situation. So the pilot gets to fly and take care of that stuff, whereas
almost certainly you can do this with the Mark 1s. You can almost certainly swap the Mark 2 ball turrets for a tracker ball turret into the Super Hornet. So that's another call for the Super Hornet. Just a better.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Best base.
Like you said, Paul, with the by the way, that's $185, as is this one, which is the Ghost. I also think once scanning comes in, this will also be good as well, because this will just be able to hide better, so to speak.
Oh my God, I have nightmares about the original Ghost. There was a patch where the Ghost was basically invisible until it was on top of you. So you'd be attacked by a target you couldn't even see until it was within like 100 meters from you, and by then it's gone. Unless you were visually tracking it, it could just disappear. And these things were fast enough that you can do. Yeah, I hated that. So yeah, if that ever comes back, these things are going to be nightmares. So
please, Sarah G, I really want to see Paul have some nightmares. Right. Those be the night terrors. Right. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I wake up in a cold sweat thinking about that thing. Yeah.
Right, the F8 Lightning. Everyone got a skin today, hopefully. If you didn't get a skin, then you're pretty new. I'll just put it that way.
I would buyer beware with this one, even if you could get it, because right now everyone hates it. From what I've seen.
Yeah, it's not in the best place. But then let's be honest, most heavy fighters are not in the best place. So this is the skin they gave us here. I just want to show that real quick. Not meltable, not removable, $0 value, but it is an F8 Lightning Nightweaver. And everyone should have one of those on their account. If you ever had a golden ticket or you spent way too much money, you know how much you spent. You know who I'm talking about. Wink, wink. Not looking at any two people on the screen that is not me. See? Good boy. Bad boys. Good boy. Bad boys. Right, cool. Glad we've all got that sorted.
I have an excuse. I did it for the community.
Yeah. I chipped and fell on a banana and landed in it. Yeah, I did it for the community, right?
No, listen. I have none of the money that I purchased on this game. Almost none of this money that I purchased on this game is in my hangar. Almost all of it has gone off to some other lucky fucker outside of the United States.
No, officer, it wasn't me. Honest, officer, like the handset, everything. No, officer, no, not me. Right.
Listen, I'm a generous man, and I'm not going to have you besmirch my good reputation as being a generous man. Okay.
Once you get up to this range, though, at $300, like you're really talking a lot for a single seat vehicle. You got a Paladin, Redeemer, Caterpillar, very short amounts of money away. So I really cannot recommend. And
$50 more, and you're getting a Crucible or an Endeavor.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. There's a lot of ships in that next $50 that is just way bigger and better. Right, I think we've got to let Paul take this one. I know Agrid is a big fan, but I think we've got to let Paul lead the charge on this one this year. So
Most of our audience know how much I love the Gladiator, so they probably haven't heard you.
I will make my case for the Gladiator outside of lore. The lore of the Gladiator is one of the most fascinating pieces of lore in the game. But I will say that amongst competitive pilots, the Gladiator is one of their favorite ships because it is very much a sleeper ship. It has got insane amounts of toughness. It has the maneuverability of a fighter, and it can punch really hard with the guns that it has. On top of that, once CIG, and I beg and plead CIG to get size 4 bomb racks out. Once CIG gives us a size 4 bomb rack, which is what the exterior missiles are, this thing will be able to carry size 5 torpedoes, the same torpedoes that a Perseus has. It already has that. And also bombs, so size 4, size 5, size 4 or multiple size 3 bombs to be able to drop on ground targets. This becomes the fighter bomber of Star Citizen, being able to effectively utilize be a force multiplier in everything you do. Ground attack, you can dogfight, it can do attacks on larger ships. It is the most versatile ship in the game by accident. And that's the reason why I led the charge and so many other people voted it up to being best in show, like 4th place, 3rd or 4th place, is simply because it deserves a lot more love than it has been given, because CIG accidentally made this thing amazing.
Agreed.
It wasn't intended.
Agreed. Can you talk about what the questions you asked to Ben and John about the bombs specifically that he was mentioning just there? Because I think he needs to hear it too.
I asked the question about, where are the variants for the Gladiator, or the modules for the Gladiator, so it can fit the roles it has in law, being a bomber, transport, etc. And they said basically the problem with the bombs, and that is by swapping, and this is different from giving the bomb racks
to
replace the missiles on the wings, but to give it the module to be a bomber instead of a missile bay would cause them problems, because the bombs are so teeny weeny and the torpedoes are so big, and so you'd have this massive void. And the question is, what do we do with that void? Now, my personal view is if you give a bomber module for a torpedo bay, you chuck an extra component in, an extra shield or an extra power plant or battery pack or something like that to
sort of bomb, something that makes it better at bombing, like maybe a better targeting device or something like that.
So you could actually add components into that, as part of that module for the bomb rack to actually reduce that space. But that was one of the things they were talking about. They also said that if they did, the question was whether they'd go modules or whether they'd go variants, and they were leaning more towards variants because of those problems with that bomb bay module and other stuff. So,
but I mean, as it is, all it needs is the same thing that CIG already did for size 3 missile racks, which is for bomb racks, because this is just a size 4. And once they give the size 4 bomb racks for that, ships like the Gladiator become one of the best multi-role fighters in the game. And so at $165 to be a torpedo bomber combined with a bomber combined with a fighter, you're never going to find a combat ship that does all those 3 things in one. It just doesn't exist outside for single seat with a double seat optional.
Well, you got a squadron of fighters who've taken down the shields and stuff on a larger ship.
Yeah.
This can come in and do some serious damage with its torpedoes.
Yeah.
Even if no capital ships are around. So it does have that versatile, great position. It is a 2-person seat, a 2-person fighter. The turret is controlled by a man turret. People have often said, why can't we have the gun slaved like on a Hornet? And it's because it's a man turret, not a remote turret like in the Super Hornet.
Yeah.
It also means having the skin on it today that it is more than likely had a pass, because this thing had really not been touched since it first came into the game, and it has held up so bloody well for a ship that's hardly even been touched, and it looks amazing even way back then.
Like I said, it accidentally made it great. CIG accidentally made it great. They did not. They abandoned it, and by abandoning it, the game was the meta ship in Arena Commander for a while.
Yep.
And then when they abandoned it, it sort of fell out. And then by CIG changing the game, it sort of came back into flavor because of how they changed the game.
Yep.
And then all they'd had to do was change the gun sizes and they gave it more armor, and now it's amazing.
So long story short, let us know in the comments below. Have they, if you've got in it today, have they kind of updated it? I have one ready to go after this show, but I do want to talk about one thing. But if you've got one other thing to mention, Albert, I'll let you do that before I move on.
Yeah, I do recall when they bought out the bomb racks, I did buy them to try and fit them on the Gladiator, and at that time they didn't fit.
Yep,
they don't. Yeah.
Them. So that was a
kind of implying that there's a bomb coming. And again, what I'm kind of leaning towards is if they worked on this, maybe eventually are seeing that variant that you found about last year, maybe, or the modules maybe on the cards sooner rather than later. Now that we've got a skin in, we know that they had to rework it to get the skin on it. So yeah.
Yep.
What I want to talk about here, just as a side note, because I will forget if I don't talk about this, is how can you get the best in show skins if you don't own the ships? Now, I have a pool of credits. Now, I know not everyone does have a pool of credits, but if you do happen to have a pool of credits, from back in the day before we got given ships to give away and stuff like that, the thing that me and Algar had to do was we had a pool of credits there, and we'd buy the ship, review it, and then melt it. Right. And essentially, if you happen to have a pool of credits, now you could do one ship at a time, but they're only going to give the skins away in 2 ways. They do it right at the start in Best in Show, and then right on the final days, it's ending the entire thing. So I think it's about 5 days apart. Right. But if you have the ships just sitting in your inventory, you'll get the skin. So I'm going to buy this temporarily. I've already done it with the Zeus and I've already done it with the Asgard, and that'll give me those skins. I already own the Polaris, so I'll get it, but I just don't own these 3 here. And then after that, I can melt it and turn it back into credit. Now, the other thing you can do alternatively, if you can't afford that, is you can buy a CCU to those ships on Best in Show or after Best in Show day. They'll offer Best in Show skins, so you can just get a ship underneath those and pick those up. And then if you ever apply that CCU, you'll be given that skin. So yeah, is there anything else I should add to that? I think that kind of covers that. I've just never ever brought it up. I thought it was worth bringing up.
No, isn't it the when you've got the CCU, they actually add the skin to that CCU? So
yes,
yes, yeah. They'll actually
so
if you have it in there,
and if you have the ship, it comes as a separate item, right? So CCU, it's bundled with the ship. If you have the ship, it's literally a separate item. So that's why I prefer a separate item, because then I can melt off the ship and just keep the skin. So yeah.
Yes. The other thing is that if you have a skin that is from Best in Show, but you don't have the or any skin, but you don't have the ship in game, as long as you have the ship in game, you can apply it to that ship. It's not locked to the actual physical ship. If you have like say you get your Best in Show for the Gladiator, and then you melt your ship, that skin will still be in your inventory. So if you buy Gladiator in game, you can still apply it to your in-game Gladiator, just to keep that idea. It's not like locked to only purchased ships.
Yeah. And I've got the other Zeuses, but I'm picking up an ES because I've been told that it won't give you for the other one. So I picked up a credit Zeus just to be doubly sure. If I get 3 skins, I'll let you guys know. But I just wanted to be doubly sure, so I picked one up because I have the credit there.
And I want to emphasize, if you already have a CCU, you won't get the skin. It won't be added. Only if you have a CCU on the sale.
Yes.
So if you pick up CCU to that ship on the sale, it'll come with the skin.
The way you can tell is it actually has the colors of that year. So to give you, there was years they sold blue skins, so the AIE will be blue. There was a red one, a white one. This year I'm pretty sure it'll be some kind of gold yellowy one, and that's how you'll know, because in your inventory it'll be a gold colored one like that.
Yeah, normally it'll just be an X, but I did a bunch of cross chassis upgrade stuff for last year, and I still have the CCU upgrades with the Best in Show skins for those specific ships in my inventory, and shows up as the purple skin of I think it was like the Terrapin was one of them.
I don't have 5 for every ship for every Best in Show ever. No, I don't. I've got a lot. I have given a lot away over the years, though. I don't use them for money. I just hold them on to give to people that they missed out. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. That's kind of how it works. So yeah, I just don't kind of really believe in exclusivity. I'm a bit weird like that. No. But anyway, the Hawk bounty hunting is just around the corner, mark and all that. This kind of, I'd say Avenger than this, and it's $100. I've always found it as a really little unique jack of all trades ship, because it's got EMP, some interesting guns. It would tend to be the first or second ship I buy after a patch, and it still is to this day. really enjoy flying it. It's just so different. Yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that. Again, it's a fighter, but I do earn it in game at $100.
The only comment I'll make on the Hawk is that, given its aesthetic and the name, why wasn't it Tavaran?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense as a
Okay. Yeah, I could say that.
as a ship that was maybe because we know a little bit about the Hawk because of the brochure. I don't think it has a full. It might have a full breakdown, but you could easily. We don't know who designed it, for instance, so we could see it eventually in the future. Like it was maybe it was designed by Tavaran at Anvil. Who knows? You know.
Could be funny just to kind of do a backwards juxtaposition. You make one called the Eagle, and the Tavaran have that. It's an American bird, but the Tavaran's still the name. I kind of like that idea. It's kind of funny. And I think it'd be just a you know what I'm saying, right? Yes. Hurricane. Me and Algrid really like this one. There's something psychological about how these ships work with two players. The pilot doesn't have the guns, the turret gunner does, and it just makes people work better. And you can get the same people in a Scorpius or the same people in a Hurricane, and I don't know why, but this ship just works so much better because it kind of forces you to work together. And I think
feels better. Yeah,
$210. It's gone up a bit in the last couple of years, but anything you guys want to say on that one?
I love
it's good. It's still there was a time when it was the best fighter in the game.
Yep.
Because they absolutely broke turrets for a patch, and so it became insanely good because you could hit him with the turrets. But it's still, I would say, one of the best two-person mess around kill things sort of ship in the game.
Well, so. I was on a stream with Bops a little bit a while ago, and I took one of the guys that were with him out in it, and he liked it so much that he's buying it today. So that kind of tells you it is just a very fun ship, and it's so much smaller than the Scorpius too. Like it's way tinier.
It fits pretty well into. It's about the same size as an F8 to give you context. It's maybe a little bit bigger, I think, but it's around the same price as an F8.
Yeah, and it's the other thing is it's a heavy fighter. It's two heavy fighters, the F8 and the Hurricane. This is a Jace Aerospace design. These are the law guys. They should be saying this, but it's the Jace Aerospace design. So it's Case Aerospace, is it? Not Jace.
No, it's Case.
Okay, Case. I got it wrong. My bad.
It's spelled even weirder because it's CASSE, so it's Cassie. But it's pronounced Case.
All right. So long story short, you've got, almost like 400-500 years apart or something between the two designs. And it's the first time we can look at a manufacturer and go, look, here's two ships that are literally heavy fighters, kind of the same role, except one's two-seater and one's single-seater. And you can see like that change of history and time. I really like that. It's cool.
And yet that two-seater variant just seems to just work. It's almost... Go on.
I was going to say I'd take this over the F8 any day, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got to agree. I'm in the same boat. I would, if I've got a co-pilot, or even if I'm going as a gunner, I don't mind being pilot or gunner in this ship. It is fun either way, and that's the thing we found when we flew it.
Yeah.
We swapped roles, and we enjoyed both roles. And there are other times when you go in and you join a ship and you have more fun being a pilot than you do as a gunner.
Yeah. There's a lot of communication too, wasn't there? Like back and forward the whole time. You've got to communicate and work to pull it off because it is a little bit of an underdog, but it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It kind of highlights the cool things about this game, like that.
It gives me hope for ships like the Banu, where
the Defender.
You must work together to be on a ship, or or even down the line for other, Tavaran or other ships that have that dual thing. But the Defender is a ship that just makes me feel this would be something that takes from. Anyway, move on.
All right, Legionnaire 120, very cheap for what it does type of ship. I was really surprised. I think we all were when this came out at $120. It's essentially a dedicated boarding ship that hacks its way onto, forces itself in. It's the intruder ship, I guess, or the the police, open up! You know, like that type,
Yes.
type of ship.
I know a lot of Marines, people who were Marines, who are nostalgic for the ship because it's essentially the like kind of boats they would use to board ships at sea.
Yeah.
So it's it's that sort of like feel for it. I know a lot of people want to use it as a cheap drop ship.
Yep.
As a simple drop ship, and of course the e-warfare. That's this huge thing. Is it's hacking and e-warfare is its big draw. So
I'm a big fan of the way this ship looks. Actually, it's like a mini Paladin to me. I would really like a combat variant of it of some description. I don't know why, it just really speaks to me. But I don't really have much use for a boarding ship. It's a little bit too niche for me. But I just love the way it looks. But yeah, Agrid, anything you'd like to add?
When this came out, one of the things I wondered was whether this would be a ship that would replace the Redeemer as the dropship for our Javelin.
It's kind of a drop ship, but instead of
ship.
dropping the planet, it's dropping onto other people's ships. So I can see where you go there. Yeah, I can see that.
But the idea of the Javelin, the idea with the drop ship or the Redeemer was so you get your Marines to go on board another ship.
Yeah, it was originally a shipboarding craft.
So you could you could do your customs and type stuff. This is a ship the only ship we've got at the moment that really is designed specifically for boarding other ships. So yeah.
The Liberator, $575. Paul, you want to say something?
There are multiple members of my org who are obsessed with the ship. And we're waiting for the ship to come out, and we're mad every single day that CIG hadn't even talked about the Liberator.
Did they have meetings at 5 p.m. They'd meet.
Yes.
I'm very mad today, and they've been doing it for what, 4 years? Just I am mad today. See you tomorrow.
Yes. There's a GIF from one of the Batman animated movies or TV series, where Joker unveils Batman as Bruce Wayne. And the joke is that Joker isn't mad that it's Bruce Wayne because he's just like I should have known. He's mad because Bruce Wayne promised a electric vehicle to come out 2 years before, and he put a down payment on it. And so he goes up to Bruce to unmask Batman and is like, "Where's my goddamn electric car, Bruce? Where's my goddamn electric car?" And they post that every single time someone mentioned about the Liberator. So where's my goddamn Liberator, Chris? Where's my goddamn Liberator? So the fact that it's now in production. I have a sneaking suspicion about this ship in that it is likely going, because even look at this concept, the name, it's now a light carrier. It's a deep strike light carrier. This was a shipping ship. It is now a pocket carrier.
I think it's the ones we've been talked about was a forward opening base, I think SA said.
Yes.
And there was another one that the other guy used, and I can't remember the acronym. And it was similar to a forward operating base, but slightly different. And it was an FOD or something like that.
Yeah, it's landing craft dock LDC.
No. It was
talking about the.
It was like FOD. I can't remember the exact wording, but it had an F
FOB.
and a
FOB.
FOB was what I said. SA said. This guy said it was like a FOB, but it was an FOD. I think it's like it was more repair and logistical type of thing, and it was heavily armored. It was it was a forward operating something, and I think it was D, but I can't remember the word. But again, yeah, I think that's where they need to lean into on this. It kind of makes sense if it was to do that and not have the beds and stuff for the actual passengers. It needs to change from, it was a ferry originally, because they even said it was needed for pyro, and they've obviously opened up and changed how jump points work, and in doing that, the Liberator's changed. So
the Liberator lost its value. Its niche.
Well, I was never a fan of it transporting vehicles, but now if it is more armored and it's like a mini base, like we've talked about how the Kraken lands and acts like a base. I can see this being a smaller version of that, and that actually sounds pretty cool. But you really have to up the armor. You really have to put a lot more weapons on the outside of it to defend it. PDCs would be almost a certainty for me, to protect from other craft and vehicles. So, if you're only going to have 2 pilots or 2 crew, I should say, it really does need a lot more PDCs. I'd say at least 4 to be an example, Here's the thing that is the big warning sign, is that CIG has said 2 things recently. Number 1, fleet carrier ops or fleet strike ops, right?
That's their big thing they're pushing next year. They haven't shut the fuck up about it in their own marketing. They talk about it even when they're talking about ships. So we know that that's their main focus next year, is the sort of big raid-like experience. And number two, which is part of that, is the rearm and refuel and repair systems that are going to be on capital ships.
Yep.
This ship, the Liberator, is a pocket carrier. It is designed, it is in the perfect position to service as a cheap version of the Idris or the Polaris. And so CIG has an incentive to use this as their testing bay for those systems to get out for that next fleet carrier out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get this faster than we think. Though then again, it's also a big ship, so they'd have to push really hard to get that out there. But I think that it's going to end up being both the basis for all larger Anvil ships. So whatever Anvil gunboat or corvette or frigate that they're going to be making in the near future, because we all know they're going to have a capital ship of some kind, because right now they don't. And no, the Carrack doesn't count. It's an explorer.
Let me ask you this, Paul. If it goes where we're thinking it's going to go, would you consider upgrading your ironclad assault to this? So if the Drake and this are basically two versions of a very similar thing, but the Drake just does the vehicles, would you buy a CCU and jump ship to get the ability to take ships as well as vehicles?
Possibly. It really depends on what it's capable of doing.
Well, say for example they added the fabricator to this. Let's just to put them on
possibly
a more equal par.
I mean, yeah, because you could still put vehicles in there, even though the vehicle bay is probably going to be probably be increase in size because it's going to be designed for repairing ships. So yeah, certainly.
Well, yeah, it'd be the fabricator would work with the vehicles and the ships. It'd essentially do components, because I think that's essentially what that fabricator is going to be in the assault. It's just going to make components for the vehicles.
You see where the tank is going in the back? If they increase the size so that you could park a Hornet inside there, like just increase the entranceway and have the way you can park a Hornet, so you can repair and refuel a Hornet in the middle bay and the front bay, as well as have vehicles, which I think they probably should in order to make it a pocket carrier, which is what its role should evolve to.
I'd go even further. I'd have it so that they're on elevators and they come down. And then you can work on them and then go back up. And the compromise is obviously going to take the vehicles out to be able to do that. But you could also just move the vehicles forward so you can get one down and leave one up. You know, I think there's plenty of ways they could do it. Again, if you're reworking it and reconcepting it and it's changed, I'd expect there to be changes like that. And little small compromises like that, I don't think people are going to matter. Like, again, I think probably the drastic example, and I don't think people mind too much, was the Carrack. She's not as slender as she used to be. She's kind of bowed now in a way, but she's a better ship for it because she's got a lot more stuffed in. And again, when ships change a little bit like that, it's just a part of the course. But if you're getting more for your money, and I'm going to be honest, at $575, if you're getting a forward operating base, I think you're getting a lot better deal. But as I said, I think because of the small crew count, either the crew count's got to go up or PDCs. And I'm more of a fan of the PDCs personally, because small crew, easy to run.
Of the ships, I think this is one of the few ships that could go with a PDC and it wouldn't break the role. Because
it's a military ship too, so it fits. You know,
in the original description, it was supposed to be a civilian ship, but again, the ferries are dead. It's 5 systems. There's no reason for a ferry yet. So if you want this ship to make sense, and they are definitely going to release it, it needs to have a role, and the role is staring them in the face, which is a pocket carrier, a cheap carrier for people who can't afford a Polaris or an Idris. It's right there.
Yep.
So
you don't have to grow it too much to get into a capital. Like, it's literally just a little bit, but yeah, it's got to be above 128 meters, basically 126.
It goes. It goes basically with what we were saying about the Crucible, and you can see the Crucible there is significantly small, or looks significantly smaller than the Liberator. They're both large components, but the Crucible seems to have more. So at bare minimum, I would expect the Crucible to grow to at least that size, at bare minimum. And I think it needs to grow to that mini Corvette, as you were saying, Paul. Same as this.
It needs to be a Corvette carrier is what it needs to be.
I think down the line, they're going to be similar size, similar type of ship. well, different roles, but similar.
Well, and we'll come back to as well, because we're talking a lot about this, but this has just recently got into its production, which is why it's important to talk about this, which is because this is maybe one of the last times, probably in Invictus, they'll have more updates for it, because by then they should be in to at least white box stage. That's 6 months from here, from now.
It's a potential speculation CCU. It really is.
Yes, it is. I would lock in if I were you, to get a CCU for this one. If you're even somewhat interested, I'm going to buy a CCU for this one just because I know that it probably will go up in price and get bigger. But think about it as an MMO. We have one Corvette, which is a DPS. For the traditional MMO, it's like a rogue or a sorcerer or something like that. It's designed to just put out a lot of firepower but not take a lot of hits. You need something that is supporting your tinies, which is what the carriers are, the sort of like this support logistics ship. We don't have anything in the Corvette size other than the DPS. We need a Corvette that's a tank. We need a Corvette that's support. We need a Corvette that is so, they kind of crosses, that has cross classes in there, and this is the easiest one they could just slam the size up and make it more useful, considering its original pitch is gone. So
yep. Yeah, the idea of being a shipping ship is well and truly dead in the water.
At least at 1.0. Like, it might work in like 2-3 years after 1.0, but yeah.
Right.
But turning it into a military light carrier adds value.
The Paladin. I had massive reservations about this ship at the end of last year when it was essentially concept sailed, but I am really pleasantly surprised to be wrong. And as time went by and I was seeing all the progress on the ship, I ended up applying a CCU to this ship. I'm a massive fan of how this ship turned out. It is just totally, I just love taking it out. And I also like taking the Perseus out as well. It is a smaller Perseus as far as I'm concerned. Not exactly that, but similar roles. And I went out with an org. We went out with a fully crewed Idris and 2 fully crewed Paladins, and we had an amazing time. I am a massive fan of how this ship turns out, and just the quality of the Paladin and the Perseus and all the ships going forward really excite me for how they're going to look. If the Perseus and I know I'm forgetting one, but the Wolf don't make Best in Show next year, I'll be really, really surprised.
It's going to be stacked next year.
Yeah. Like
next year's roster for IAE is going to be stacked because you got the Wolf, which people like. You've got the Paladin, which people like. You've got the Perseus, which people like. And we should have the Ironclad, which people have been drooling over forever by then as well. Both the Ironclad and the Ironclad Assault. I'm trying to think of what the other ones that are big coming out. You got the Clipper. The Clipper is definitely going to be in there because people love that ship.
So someone's missing out is what you're saying. And I'm going to be honest, it's probably going to be this guy. But yeah. Because again, the more expensive you go, it's either going to be that really big wow factor like a Polaris, or it's got to be something that everyone owns. And I think the Clipper will probably be in there because it's cheaper. But I just really love how this turned out. It speaks to me personally more than the Clipper. But the Clipper, I know why it's popular, right? I'll put it this way: have you both been in it yet and used the turret? What about you, Agrid? Have you gone in and used the turret?
No, I haven't.
It's good.
It's so amazing. Good. You know when we're in the hurricane, Aaron, I explained it to you in hurricane terms, right? So when a ship would go past and you would use the turret and you could just like take out another fighter in one pass. Imagine that, but the
bigger ships.
The ship that you're killing is more like a Freelancer or a Zeus in one pass. It is insane.
When we were talking about it once, you described it as just after you'd flown it. You said it is the big hurricane.
Yeah. That's kind of what it is. Yeah.
And I could see that. I know the top turret is basically the bulk of the guns. I like, and you've heard me say it multiple times, I like when the turret gunners have more guns than the pilot because it makes that team gameplay. It makes you have to choose when you've got to do engineering stuff, especially on a. It's like you guys said. A ship with interiors,
The Cutlass to the Asgard, this is to the Hurricane. Essentially, you can still take 2 people out and it's just a bigger hurricane. But if you add 2 more people again, you just get the flexibility of being able to bend the turrets around. You know?
Yeah, two people is optimal for this because you get the pilot still gets controls of the two side guns, and then the turret gunner gets the turret. So
three, I would say 3 people is optimal because then you've got a dedicated engineer.
Yeah,
running around fixing stuff. So, but yeah, it's the same type of argument.
The Terrapin, the most expensive profession, no longer starter. Well, we used to call them starters because they were at that point. Now they're.
Well, the profession starter for scanning is Scout, is the Cutter Scout.
Yeah.
Well,
but I think you'd agree that's a big jump. It's almost 3 times as expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this thing was sold on Rule of Cool because when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh, that turtle armor looks amazing," blah 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 blah, and that just went. And it should be like $150. It shouldn't be this price.
It should be more expensive than the or it should be slightly less expensive than the Hornet Tracker, which is like 180. So it should be like 170. It should be 165. I would say it's like the same as the Gladiator because it's like a dedicated ship for what it does.
To put it in a way people understand, for $20 it goes from a single seat scanning ship to essentially a 4-person Corsair. Or is it $30? But whatever, you mean it's very little extra money to jump. So,
it's a great shipping game, but it's a buy-in game. Same with the medic. I love the medic. I love what it is. I know a lot of people say, what is it's designed to do? And it's like, this thing's got armor for days. Its job is to fly into an active combat zone while getting shot at and still survive and pull people out while pulling. And also, if they get damaged, they can just walk back and repair their stuff and keep moving. Like this, it's designed to soak up shots is what it is. But
I think it's price is so high on the Terrapin that they didn't even increase the price of the medic. And if you kind of look at scanning versus medical, I'd say there's probably more in a medical ship than in a scanning ship. But because it was already so high, they just went, same price.
Yeah, that indicates how overpriced they made the Terrapin in the day. But one of the advantages of both Terrapins is you can close them down, reduce their signature, make them see, they can sit still for a while. I know that in law there is that troop dropship version that the special forces like because they can sneak in and it's armored and all the rest of it. So it'd be nice to see that. But again,
same.
Well, there's only one stealth dropship, and it's the Prowler. So that's an alien ship. So turning this into a stealth dropship would make sense. It would be funny because people are like, well, the armored turtle is stealthy. It's like in lore, it's technically stealthy, which is if it's in lore, it's because the designer said that would be cool. And I really want to emphasize that lore follows gameplay, not the other way around. So if it's mentioned in lore, it's because a designer liked the idea.
It's mentioned in the brochure.
Yeah.
Well, they'd be able to sell it for cheaper too, but it'd also finally have a ship to give the Cutlass Steel a run for its money. But at like it wouldn't be half the price, but it'd be like what, 180, like we saed. I think you could easily do that. Yeah.
They could easily sell a dropship version of this for like $175. Warbond, $190, $200. It'd be perfect. So
Valkyrie, I really feel that they should have just modified the Asgard and kind of let this one go. That's kind of what I would have done. But because of where it's priced, it's so close to the Hercules that it's like, why wouldn't you spend $25 and get a C2? I know you're losing the military aspect, but you could also go all the way up to an M2, but then that is another $100 again. It's just in a really weird spot for its price. It's always been too expensive. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, teacher, you can talk now.
I was waiting for you to finish. I just want to let you know because I'm going to defend this ship. I'm going to defend this ship vehemently. It sits on tiny pads. It sits on the same pad as a Cutlass.
It is a medium ship, as is the Asgard, but the point I'm trying to make is it's just its price. It was too expensive when it came out. They had to make the Asgard cheaper because they knew this just didn't sell. It's too expensive when it came out.
The thing it has going for it, which will make it really, I think, valuable in the long term, and why it's so expensive, is that it's a drop ship. And it has those heavy armor rigs, so you can sit in with heavy armor. And it has all the storage capabilities. It's got lockers you can put stuff into. So, and it can carry a small vehicle. So while I think that it might be overpriced now, I think its price is actually to its utility in a large group, but you only need one.
But if I kind of start to think about other medium kind of military ships, I'm just trying to sit here. You got the Marky Mark at $190. You've got that actually
doesn't have the seats.
The better one though would be the A1. That's a bomber at 200. My point I'm trying to get to is at
the seats.
yes, but at a medium, right? I'm not talking about a dropship. I'm talking like a military ship. For its price, it's almost double the price of all the other medium military-like ships. That's the point I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
It's just its price. I have no problem with it as a ship. We can go, cool, it's a ship. It's the price. The price is just way too high.
I think the price is valuable for its role. It's just not valuable right now. I think that if anything, it's probably going to go up in price. Every ship's going to go up in price. We all know that. It's just the nature of the beast. But both inflation and also CIG said when they started the sales, everything back in 2012, you get the cheapest price now.
I'm gonna let Algrid break the tie. Algrid, up in price, or is he crazy, or am I crazy?
I think the price is exorbitant for what it is at present. And if you're taking your argument, Paul, if price is based on what the ships can do now, this should not be priced at the price it's going to be in the future. And that's the problem with your ship. Is it a great ship? Absolutely. Is it a ship that's got lots of gameplay loops and possibilities in the future? Absolutely. It's like the Carrack. When the Carrack first came out, it was dirt cheap compared to what it is now.
It was cheaper than this, the Carrack was. But anyway, sorry.
Right? And it still doesn't have its gameplay, but they've slowly increased the price over time. If you increase the price of this over time, it's going to be
overpriced.
Beyond the pale.
The Endeavour is cheaper than this.
Yes, but the Endeavour is also going to go up in price.
But you know, it's not about what it is, right? It's about how much it costs. That's all it is.
I get it, but my argument is that for its size and its capabilities, it will be good in the future. And while it will go up in price, I can't imagine it will go up in price a lot. Like maybe $5 to $15 in price over the future as things go up, because everything's going to go up in price over time. But if you have an organization that does ground operations, my own organization, we use this thing all the time. It uses all the time.
Yeah.
It is. I would say it would be a look at, and I think that the price can be reasonable. It's just hard to swallow right now.
What would you price it as if you could reprice it? That's what I want to hear you tell me.
For gameplay right now,
if you can price it right now.
If I could reprice it for the game that it's for its availability in game right now, I'd put it at the same price as the maybe slightly more expensive than the steel.
That's actually lower than I was going to put it. I would have put it at $250, which is $15 more than the steel.
Yeah. No, slightly more than steel is what I said.
Yeah. But sorry, I thought you said the same price, around the same price. My bad.
No, around the same
slightly
price.
more than a steel.
Yeah.
Around the same.
It's like $15 more than a steel.
Then we're in agreement. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
But now, no. And if look, I'll give you that. It may go up, but it's only going to go up very slightly. I can totally agree with you on that. Yeah. But I think we fundamentally agree. Agree. That's its issue.
And that's the reason. That's my only defense of it in terms of its price is that all prices, as always, and I always like to emphasize this. What we do here is we're talking about. If you've already spent too much money on this game, we're talking about the price of. We're talking about how you utilize your limited resources. We're not here to tell you go buy a Valkyrie because it's stupid. Yeah. Don't buy any ships unless the starter ship. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that if you are going to spend money on this game and you have an organization that needs to do operations on the ground, there only is one ship as good as the Valkyrie, and it's the Steel. And the Steel is not as good as the Valkyrie.
It is a Steel.
Yeah,
with an A, not an E.
It is better to get. That is better to get in game because you can get it for cheaper. Whereas the Valkyrie, long term, it's going to be harder to find. It's a military vessel, so you're going to only be able to find it in places you may have to get good reputation.
Is it even viable in game?
It is. You can buy it in game.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
What's
it's
the
just
in game?
Let me check. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Is Paul going to have another moment?
No. No.
Well, you were saying, Agrid, when you talked to me earlier today, I had one of those yesterday, but I didn't feel that way about the wuss nipple. But yeah.
In game,
watching you with the wall for your reaction was 19 million.
Not
19
cheap.
million.
But not too.
Well,
No,
considering
it's not cheap.
an 890 jumps 52. Not cheap at all.
And you can get it. You can get it at Area 18 in Astro Armada.
Mm.
So you can't rent it. Is the only thing. So you can't rent it, but you can buy it. And at 19 million, that's not crazy right now, considering all the bugs and the things you can do. Like I could buy like 4 of these because of a bug, but that's still 19, 20 million. That would be expensive to do. Not too expensive if you're pulling everything for an organization to give one person who's a dropship pilot the ability. But but in context, let me look this up real quickly. The steel is like such a better deal in game.
Mm.
Hold on.
Yeah, but it's a crap ship.
That's why we call it the steel, because the steel
it's gotten better.
Yeah,
it's gotten better, just not for the price that you pay for with real cash.
Yeah.
Because its in-game cost is 3 million.
Yeah.
It is half the price of a Taurus in game.
Oh, crazy.
Taurus is 7.5, I think, in game.
To give you context, the Cutlass Black it's actually still more. It's now more expensive than the Cutlass Black, but it's now about 1 million ish UEC more expensive than the Cutlass Black.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
and that's why we say the steel is a steal with an A.
It's great in game, but like you're not going to get a dropship. Compare the two, 19 million to 3 million. It's basically the same footprint with similar capabilities, minus the vehicle. Yeah, the vehicle is not worth an additional 17 million UEC right now.
Definitely starting getting into Prowler Hoplite territory like back in the day. But Agrid, what would you like to hear from people below in the comments?
Which is your favorite Anvil ship? Are we on our rockers? Do you prefer the Hurricane or the Paladin?
Yeah.
What would you like to see happen to the Crucible?
Two things. One, are we crazy when it comes to Liberator? Do you think it's going to stay the same? What other things could you see the Liberator evolve into? And number two, Gladiator. What variants of the Gladiator would you like to see? And would you like to see the T8A, the military Gladiator, come to available, similar to this F7A when how it came out? So
yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
I want to know what you think about the Gladiator as well. But the most important question of all, that internal question: who is better dressed, Paul or Astro or Algrid? Who is better dressed today? I really want to know. And if you say me, then they've got to come naked next time. Right? Anyway, right?
No, never happened.
Never. Yeah. But never say never.
I mean,
never say never. Algrid says it all the time. I've heard him say it.
I could come naked, but I think the audience would fall in love with me too much. So it would be too. I mean, I don't want to outshine all y'all. I know everyone would be.
We can handle a few extra views. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you want to be called. You want to be called the sexy runners. You know, I don't know if you can handle that. Because I would start asking for more of a cut there. Because right now my cut is 0.
Yeah. Well, we help you out with some things. We give you some gear.
Help me this Go XLR.
Your cut's not been 0. We've helped you out.
Yeah. That's all good.
Maybe.
All right. With that, then where can people find you in this web, Paul?
Twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/@the-captain's-table-podcast, youtube.com/@the-astropub-live, and more importantly, what's important for this week is youtube.com/the-astro-historian, where I've been doing my lore tours all this week. I'm going to do one today as of the recording. We're going to be doing the Anvil Day. We're basically going through the rest of the week where I go to the floor and talk to you about the manufacturers, the history of the manufacturers of the ships on the floor, and then looking at the ships themselves so that you can learn a little bit about either the ship's lore themselves or how the manufacturers have evolved in their own style guides over the years, which is kind of mimics CIG's own design, but it's also reflective in the lore itself of how the ship's designed. So
two things I forgot. First, can you look this up while I talk about the second?
yes, I actually have it. And
yep, go ahead. Yeah, the giveaway.
Do the giveaway.
We got a giveaway for a paladin on the Discord.
Mhm.
Discord link will just be below. Click on the Discord, go into the giveaway channel, and click the enter giveaway button, and you can be in for the winning of a paladin with LTI. Right, Paul.
Simple
What's the
as.
funding?
Speaking of Paladin, super fun. The funding. So I forgot about this last time it jumped 2 million, and as of today, it's jumped an additional 2 million.
Right.
So we're at 124 million for a total of 16 million this week, this month.
How much we
which
done?
puts it
How much we done this month?
16 million.
this month.
Oh,
16
damn.
mil.
Oh, so we need another 26. I don't think we're gonna get there. Damn.
No.
Hmm.
Well, you got to remember, December is also going to have 4.5. So
Yeah,
We're
but we
gonna see-
need a javelin sale at Aegis Day. That would get us there. I know it would, but we're not going to get it. But yeah,
they're already blew past everything else.
Yeah.
But the important thing to remember is that
Mhm.
is the delta change in the total number of citizens who have been signing up to play the game and to buy who have bought the game is going up steadily this year. It dropped a little bit in May, and as a result, June sort of hit a little bit as well because of the
September had
bad news.
65K. Like it was insane
Yeah.
in 1 month. It was just
compared to previous, like last year, it was 19K, and
Yeah.
September 2023 had 65K. It was the only year that the number of citizens was about the same, and I think the actual number of citizens, was slightly less than September, but it's that's September. But the October, this was 54K, and the October in 2023 was 32K. So right now we're at 88K for total number of citizens who signed up, which makes it only slightly below the 92K of 2023. And the best year, ironically, for new citizens was 2022, November 2022, because they had 124K. So over the years, as we've been seeing, the total number of signups has fluctuated for citizens, but it peaked around 2016, fell until 2020, around 2020, started climbing back up at 2020, hit a peak at 2022, 2023, and ironically, even though 2023 was the best year they've had up until this year, it actually started to taper down in 2023, and we started seeing a free fall in for last year, and then it's pulled back up in 2025.
Yeah.
So,
which would explain why we had that. What was it? Couple of mil short of not being an increase last year.
Yeah.
But
and so that's an important factor to look for as well. But right now, we're probably not on track to beat 28 mil, because that would require another like 12 million. But they've been hitting a consistent 2 million a day, and we only have about 4 days left, right?
We've got. God, I'll open the schedule real quick. We are halfway type of thing is what I was trying to
we've
think.
got 3 manufacturer days, and then we have best in show, and then we have the finale.
Give me
5 days.
Give me a second. So this.
The other thing to consider, though, is not just the...
hang on. So we've got Argo and the small manufacturers. We've got Crusader and Tumbril, Aegis, Best in Show, and Finale. So we are kind of about halfway through. Sorry, go ahead, Argo.
So the other thing to consider, like, not only do signups count, but also concurrent hours played. So
which we don't know, unfortunately, but the CIG this says every so often.
And we usually do get that feedback at the end of the year. They kind of give us that, your concurrency has increased.
Yeah.
But I think they're the metrics that really count. A, signups, and B,
Most of us stopped paying attention to the funding back when they made in the like 30 mil range total. Things changed. We were like, oh, this is fine, but the funding tracker is important, because if you compare it with the citizens signing up, it means that not only are they're making more money, but they're getting more people, and that's where the money's coming from. It's not coming from the whales; it's coming from the new people who are signing up and joining the game. Which proves that there is a continually growing audience for this game. We just haven't known about it yet, or have been holding off until the game comes out. So,
look,
and a continually growing audience for space games.
Unless something happens on Aegis Day, though, I would say all the big days are really behind us. It's going to start to slow a little bit.
Next, I think tomorrow we'll probably see a 3 mil day, only because the MDC is going to be a LTI token. It'll probably be cheaper.
I'm going to be honest with you. I saw a lot more interested in it once people realized it wasn't just an anti-air vehicle like we originally thought it was going to be. The fact that it's got the PDC has really changed what people think of it.
Apparently, you and I had the same reaction, Paul.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
When it was a PDC.
Grim had it as well. Like when we found out, it was like, well, now I might get one.
From the silhouette, I think it was originally supposed to be an anti-air vehicle, and they were just like, let's just put a PDC on it. It would be better.
That's
one of the, and that's anti-air. So but so as a result, I think it's going to either A, because people are going to buy it for their own fleets, or B, they're going to buy it for LTI token because it'll probably be cheaper than the Salvation, maybe by $5. Yeah. So this isn't the original MTC like $55 or is it $50?
Yeah, I think it's $50 from the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, and the Salvation's 60, so it's a little.
It's steep.
Yeah.
I did ask people where you were on the interweb, didn't I? You did talk about
Yes, you did.
All right, so
we're just returning to the subscribe button.
Yep. So we just do thank you to all those that went the extra mile on Patreon at the end of the video. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. I said that all backwards. I'm tired. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Right. He's been Grid, Old Man Heston himself. He's been Astropub.
He's been Execute.
That's Execute, and we're out of here. Take care.
The timing was priceless. Like blah 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 blah. Just all off on timing. I've got to teach you guys. I was a comedian. Timing is everything. Right. All right. See you, citizens. See you tomorrow.